All right. Um, one question we get is why doesn't Exential ever move to cash when things start to look ominous? We typically don't make large scale changes to cash throughout the year or when markets start to weaken. And generally that's because, markets begin to falter multiple times throughout the year. On average, we have 3 to 4, 5% pullbacks every year. Some of those go nowhere. They go end up leading to single digit declines, and then they recover. Some progress to larger declines and into corrections, 10 or 15% corrections. And a very small handful end up going farther into, say, down into a bear market, down 20%, down 30%. And then even fewer still, only 5 have gotten to the point where they've lost more than 40% over the last 100 years. So the question that we face is, which ones of these do we know are going to develop into some of these rarer, larger scale pullbacks where we're down 20 to 30%? And the answer is we don't know. And if we start to pare back cash when things start to look ominous, like they did, a great example was in late 2018, when the market was down about 19% in the fourth quarter of 18. The market was forecasting a recession. We could have at some point along the line gone to cash, but then we would have missed the upside in 2019, or at least we would have missed a good amount of the upside. And that's the trouble, is timing these transitions in and out of equities is very, very difficult. And our studies and academic studies have shown that there's not a reliable way to know when these are going to move into larger declines and become those 30 and 40% declines. And then, of course, once you're in those declines, which this one that we're in today has happened with record speed. It's less than a month, and the market was down 30%. In those kinds of environments, it's very difficult to be able to make those changes. And quite honestly, the market is having trouble deciding how to maneuver around. That's why this has happened so fast. We're being presented with a situation that we haven't found ourselves in modern times. And so there's not really a playbook or rule book to use as the market is guessing which companies will be affected, how long this will last. And so I think we're all in the same boat in terms of not knowing what's going to happen. One thing we don't want to do is we don't want to sell assets at prices that we feel like are not fair. And so when we feel like we're faced with assets that are trading at unfair prices, really one of the last things we want to do is sell those assets and then attempt to try to get back into those assets when they're likely at higher prices.